Well, good morning. It's New Thought Talk. I am the Reverend Steve Walling from the wonderful Spiritual Awareness Center located in beautiful downtown Madera. And boy, am I looking forward to today. You know, about 4 weeks ago, my guest today was on and we had some technical difficulties. And I told him we'd have him back and we made it today. I think we got all the technical stuff worked out and we're going to have a great show. This is the Reverend Tim Peterson. He's from the Center for Spiritual Living, Edmonton Metro. That's up in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. And this year they are hosting the 7th Annual Canadian New Thought Conference. Reverend Tim, welcome to the show. I am so glad that you're here today.
Hey, Steve, thanks. Pleasure to be here. It's time.
I think so. You know, this is it's a great opportunity for me to have the chance to visit with you before the National Canadian Conference. You and I have spoken before. You know that I know that you also have a strong belief in getting this New Thought message out to the world. And at these conferences where you bring a whole group of individual ministers and church leaders together to not only to socialize and stuff, but there's workshops, there's presentations where they can learn what's going on, and they can take this back and help take this message out to a greater world. And for you, this is the whole Canadian country that you're having there, and I'm really excited about it. But let's get started. Reverend Tim, why don't you tell me and our audience how it is that you came to New Thought, as religious science in particular?
Well, I've always been a spiritual person. I've always thought that there was something greater than just kind of what was out there. And I went to a New Thought teaching down in Red Deer, Alberta, and my minister down there was a biker. And he spoke to me in language that I had heard before, and what that I was used to. And when I heard some of the things that he was saying, it didn't really resonate with me at first. But this change your thinking, change your life, changed my life. And once I understood that, once I really understood it and started to work with it, my whole life changed. It was amazing.
That's the same thing that when I first came and you said biker. That has a very warm spot in my heart. I'll have to send you a picture sometime of things gone by in the past. But anyway, change people. This is absolutely the crux of the whole philosophy. If your life is not where you want it to be right now, you have the power to change it. There is a power and a presence, as we say, in the universe that's available to you. So, and within ourselves, within our thoughts, we can create this. And so you came, you heard this. How did you evolve? What was your background? How did you evolve from someone that felt that they heard a message that they resonated to a calling to become a minister? And you also founded the Edmonton Metro CSL Center, if I'm correct, right?
I found that center. I also founded the Winnipeg church in 1994 when I first decided that I needed to do ministry. I was raised Mormon. My background is very, very religious. My family is still very, very strong in the Mormon church. But there was something at 8 years old where something just didn't resonate with me. And as much as I tried, as much as I wanted to be part of that group, and I did all the right things. I learned all the right prayers. I did all those things. There was just something missing that didn't speak to my soul. When I first came into this, when I first heard the message of New Thought, that you can change your life by changing your thinking, and there's not a God out there, but God is everywhere. It is always present. It is in everyone. It is now. It is here. It is powerful beyond measure. Then when I first realized that, and I could name God whatever I wanted, it changed my life. It just put me on a different road, and it's a brilliant road, wonderful road, and it's a loving road.
It is. Tim, that one of the things that, and it's pervasive throughout New Thought, is that the idea that, we create a better world by creating a better self. And I happened to listen to a live presentation of the Dalai Lama talking last week from Germany. And this is his so strong message that, we can bring peace to the world, but we've got to do it by first bringing peace within ourselves. New Thought has had that message for the 200 or so years that it's been around here in the Western world, but it's an idea that whose time has come. And as we take this out to the world from our centers, that as we create this within ourselves, we create a world of peace and harmony. This is the new thought for our time, and it's just very exciting.
And it's about doing it, beginning with yourself. There's a wonderful story that Gandhi has related. A woman came to him and said, "Tell my son to quit eating sugar," and Gandhi said, "Have him come back in 2 weeks." And he came back in 2 weeks, and Gandhi told him, "Quit eating sugar." And she said, "Why did it take you 2 weeks?" He said, "Well, 2 weeks ago I was eating sugar."
Yeah.
So we begin it for ourselves.
And how many times have we experienced that in our own lives where, particularly for me, prior to really getting vested in a New Thought consciousness, knowing what's right for someone else, but not demonstrating that within my own life. And oftentimes that's where, and the reason why we have these people show up for us is to mirror back to us those things that we need to maybe address in our own consciousness. So,
Sure.
Okay, so you came from a Mormon background and you found New Thought, and then was it 94 you said you founded the first CSL center in Manitoba?
Winnipeg, Manitoba, yes.
Okay. And how did that work out, and how did you evolve from there to Edmonton?
Well, my family, I was born and raised in Edmonton. My family has always lived here. When I went to Winnipeg, it was the most interesting story that got me up there, and it was quite brilliant. And I don't know if I would ever do it the same way again, but everything just fall into place for that. And to say I wouldn't do it again is, well, I would have done it exactly the same, but it was absolutely brilliant how it all happened. But I stayed there for 7 years to the day. And then I realized that I just missed my family out here. My mom was getting older, and I wanted to spend some time with her before she made her passing. And so I decided to move out to Edmonton. And I wasn't going to do pastor. I wasn't going to be a minister anymore here. I was just kind of going to retire and take it easy, enjoy life. And it was about a year after that I said, I've got to do this again. There's something within me that needs to teach, and I enjoy teaching people.
Well, that's wonderful. The world needs more teachers to bring this philosophy out to the world, but that is a fact. And so Edmonton, you're about 150 miles north of Calgary? Is that where you're about? How
We're
far?
180, about 3 hours north of Calgary.
Okay, so you're midway between the east and west coast, approximately there in Canada. And
Well, we're just above Montana.
yeah. And what's the population like there? What do you see in Edmonton as far as numbers and stuff?
In Edmonton, we've got about 1 million people in the city itself, and about 4 million in the surrounding area.
Mm-hmm. Is your center the only New Thought center that's there in Edmonton?
No, we've got 2 other CSL. Ours is a Center for Spiritual Living, And we've got 2 others in Edmonton right now, and we've got a couple other New Thought, Unity and Independence, and it's quite a thriving New Thought community up here.
That's great. I'm really glad to hear that. So you're going to have the 7th annual New Thought conference there in Edmonton. It switches locations from year to year?
Every year.
Okay.
It started out the year I left, or a couple years after I left in Winnipeg.
Okay.
They decided to have something because they were kind of feeling a little bit isolated, I think. And they brought it up there, and it moved there. So this is the 7th. The next year is going to be in Ontario, in Toronto.
All right.
And so we're looking forward to supporting that down here too, or that vision that he has.
Very good. Okay, we're going to cut away to our first commercial break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about the 7th annual New Thought Canadian Conference, the theme, and we're going to talk about how it's evolved over the last 7 years. So we'll see you on the flip side, as they say.
Hi, I'm Keith Fagundes. I'd like your vote on June 3rd for Kings County District Attorney. Join law enforcement, business leaders, community groups, firefighters, and victims in bringing honesty and integrity to the Kings County DA's office. We deserve a full-time DA who will work hard and lead by example, one who will properly train and retain staff. We need a DA who will uphold the law, protect victims, and do what's right. My years of experience will bring needed leadership and professionalism. Please vote Keith Fagundes on June 3rd.
In 1985, Larry Korth set out to help his friends, family, and community find affordable ways to buy a home or a business property. 30 years later, Mid-Valley Financial is the premier mortgage banker in the Central Valley. The professional staff at Mid-Valley will find the best mortgage products for your family. Mid-Valley Financial takes great pride in being the Central Valley's local lender. Visit us at midvalleyfinancial.com.
Let our family at Avakian Insurance Services help protect your family's future. If you've bought a new home, changed vehicles, or just need a comprehensive review, let our agents help you. As your family grows, we can offer you competitive rates on life and health insurance. Call Avakian Insurance Services for a quote today. Avakian Insurance Services, 268-7386, or visit us online at avakianinsurance.com. Come join the A-Team.
This message was brought to you by Javita Coffee. Change your coffee, change your life, 1 cup at a time. Check us out at ilovejavita.com.
Snowy, 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 snowy shaved ice truck. If you're having a party, call Snowy Shaved Ice Truck.
If it's a hot day in your neighborhood, or if you're having a birthday party or block party, invite Mr. Snowy. Call 803-1779 or go to snowyfresno.com.
Snowy, 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 snowy shaved ice truck. If you're having a party, call Snowy Shaved Ice Truck.
Lunch phone, what is your location, please?
I'm in Fresno's Tower District.
What is your budget, please?
I only have $7.
Well, that leaves you only one choice. Go directly to Bobby Salazar's in the Tower District. He is having a lunch special for $6.89.
Well, that won't leave me enough money to get a drink.
No worries. Bobby Salazar's in the Tower District will get you lunch and a drink for just $6.89.
Wow! I'm going straight to Bobby Salazar's in the Tower District to get the lunch special and drink for just $6.89.
Thank you for calling Lunch Phone. This has been a recording.
What?
Let the professionals at William L. Mitchell Landscaping make your lawn and gardens beautiful. If you need a new lawn, landscape design, or if you need someone to take over the weekly drudgery of caring for your yard, William L. Mitchell Landscaping can meet your needs. With his ornamental horticulture degree from Fresno State, Bill is qualified to take care of all phases of your landscape construction and design. Call Bill at William L. Mitchell Landscaping at 283-8849. That's Bill Mitchell, 283-8849.
For all of your real estate needs, call Mike Briggs Properties, 559-486-6758, or check us out at MikeBriggsProperties.com.
CentralValleyTalk.com.
Welcome back. It's New Thought Talk. I am the Reverend Steve Walling from the Spiritual Awareness Center, located in beautiful downtown Madera. My guest today is the Reverend Tim Peterson from the CSL Center, Edmonton Metro, up in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. And we're talking about the 7th Annual Canadian New Thought Conference. But this is the 7th. There was 6 before. So, Tim, as you mentioned in the first segment, it started in Winnipeg, was it? The first conference?
First conference was in Winnipeg, yes.
Yeah. Okay. And then how has it evolved over the years? What from the inception, the beginning days? Where did it go, and how did it get to the point where it's going to be held in Edmonton this year?
Well, it started in Winnipeg, as I said, and then it moved to one of my friends in Saskatoon, Reverend Lorraine Trout, took it over and did it for a year there. They went back to Winnipeg, then back to Saskatoon, then over to BC, and back to Winnipeg, and then BC again, and so it's just kind of the western provinces in Canada. There doesn't seem to be a lot of the new thought that's happening out in the east coast of Canada right now, as far as we can see within the CSL organization anyway. But every time we've gone to a conference, or every time I've gone to a conference, I've come back with a feeling of almost euphoria of getting together and a commonality of people and seeing the sameness and recognizing differences, but also realizing that we're all after the same thing. We all want the same thing. We're all spiritual beings in a human experience, and we just enjoy each other's company. And every time I've come back, it's been, we should do something like that. We should have something like that. We should, until finally somebody just said, well, let's do it. And they did it. We just carry the ball now.
That's great. It's just, you're moving, this conference is moving around Canada, and Toronto, now that is in the east, isn't it?
That's in the east. That's the first year, yeah.
So it'll be the first year that the conference actually moves into the eastern region of Canada.
That's right. Reverend Jonathan Zenz is starting for the New Thought Conference 2008, and he's got some wonderful speakers lined up next year.
Oh, that's great. So speaking of speakers, what is the lineup for the Heart and Soul Conference in Edmonton?
Well, we've got Dr. Ken Gordon and Dr. Deborah Gordon coming up from Kelowna. Ken was the spiritual leader of the Centers for Spiritual Living, and he's a fabulous speaker. He was the guy I had to report to when I was in Winnipeg for all those years, and he was tough on me. Man, he was tough on me, but he really brought home what I needed to do to progress. But he's a wonderful speaker, powerful.
Now, you said he is the current spiritual leader of the Centers for Spiritual Living. I believe
yes.
they're about the largest New Thought organization in the world, aren't they?
Either they are, or Unity is one, but I don't know if Unity considers themselves New Thought any longer. But
that is true.
I just don't know. But there are two organizations that just merged.
Right.
Religious Science International and United Churches of Religious Science.
That's right. And both of those trace their history back to the founder of Religious Science, Ernest Holmes. And it was a good thing to see them come together. There's, one of the things that I talk about that is near and dear to my heart is the healings of old factions or old consciousness. We are a new thought way of thinking, a new thought way of expressing, a new thought philosophy, and as part of that is an openness and a healing consciousness within the philosophy itself. And we'll be talking more about that at some future date, but this is exciting. So Reverend Ken Gordon and Dr. Ken Gordon and his wife, Deborah
She's
Gordon.
A wonderful speaker too. She's going to be Ken's going to be our keynote on Friday with a woman named Elizabeth Manuel, who's a practitioner at one of the centers up here, and she's absolutely brilliant in what she does and in some of the courses and workshops that she gives. Deborah Gordon's going to be speaking on the Saturday. We've got Dr. Avalon coming up from New Thought. We've got you coming, and you're going to be speaking up there. Yay!
Hey, how about that, huh?
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to having you guys up here and showing you everything that Edmonton has and what we're all about.
Yeah.
We've got wonderful workshops. We've got a man named Carmian Owen who's going to be doing a workshop on prayer. At the same time, we're going to have a woman, Heather Dawn Swain, teach you about laughter. So you can have one or the other, and it's part of the same thing.
Yeah,
it's a joy-filled experience.
You know, that's true. And some of the new research on laughter is expressing that I think about 10 minutes of laughter is equal to 20 minutes of some intense meditation. So, that's some good stuff. And meditation, as you know, and we teach in this my center, is a very important part of our spiritual experience. So that's good. Well, it sounds like you got a great lineup up there, but you got to have some music too, aren't you?
We've got the musicians in our center they blow me away every week. They blow me away. Our music director is named Raven Mendez and his wife Trish Bar Mendez, and then they come every week and give their heart and soul to our center. And we brought some other musicians in. Danny Cody's coming in as part of the band. We've who else do we have? Amy Bishop is coming. She's a brilliant songwriter. She's from a church in Calgary. We've got a fellow named Martin Kerr who's up here. He was in Canadian finalist in the those television shows they've got to show talent. Canadians Got Talent. Just amazing talents and songwriters and singers, and it's all the new thought. That's brilliant.
Oh, that sounds like it's. I and my wife are really looking forward to coming up and getting a chance to experience Canada and Edmonton in particular. This is exciting, but for me personally, it's exciting to see the national presence that you expect to have people from all over Canada, but you're not that far from the northern border of the United States, and there's no reason why some of our local people that are local to you, New Thought people, couldn't make it up there to Edmonton to experience this. Reverend Ken Gordon, he is Canadian, and where does he have his center?
He has his in Kelowna, British Columbia.
Okay, so that's on the west. I'm not real.
That's a little bit west.
Yeah. Okay.
It's just above Spokane. So.
All right.
Yeah.
So, this is good. Now the New Thought presence in Canada. Just to kind of fill me in, what is the history, or do you know really how long it's been there as a president? Does it go back into the early days of religious science here in the States, or is this something that has happened, since like World War II or whatever?
When I went out to Winnipeg, I first got my first building out there. My realtor said he had a bunch of chairs and stuff that he was willing to give me to fill up this space. So I took them all. He brought this great big podium that was filled with books. And all of these books were New Thought books, and they were back from the 1920s and 1900s. They were old, but all New Thought books.
Oh, cool.
And then I found one that had Ernest Holmes' signature in it.
Really?
And so he was up there in the 1930s, and he taught in Winnipeg that early. So they've had New Thought centers, but they just didn't last. What we want to do and what we need to do and what I think Spirit is calling us to do is get something that is lasting.
I think that is probably the key perspective of consciousness. I don't remember where it was, and it's been some time, but I read that in about the early 1950s, they figured there was about 7,000 New Thought centers in the world. Today, they figure we got about 7,000 new thought centers in the world.
Yeah.
Now, there's to me, there's a disconnect because as like you, I am a minister of religious science. I believe that this philosophy is so personally empowering. I believe it is a world-changing philosophy. I believe that with all, and particularly with the way the world has evolved, with all the technology, the internet, the instantaneous communication throughout, the world as far, you do something here, it can be known immediately on the opposite side of the world, that with everything that's going on, that this is the time for this philosophy. And what's so wonderful about it is that you can, as an individual, embody this. And you don't have to give up the beliefs necessarily that you grew up with. I think people do over a period of time as they see this philosophy unfold in their lives. But, there's so much that is available to people that we just don't know until we have the opportunity to come in contact with this. So what you're doing in Canada, you particularly, and the Canadian New Thought family as a whole, is vitally important to the world. And I'm, like I said, I can't tell you how excited I am about to be a part of it, Tim. We're going to cut away to our next commercial break, and when we come back, we got some more things to talk about.
Great.
Hi, I'm Keith Fagundes. I'd like your vote on June 3rd for Kings County District Attorney. Join law enforcement, business leaders, community groups, firefighters, and victims in bringing honesty and integrity to the Kings County DA's office. We deserve a full-time DA who will work hard and lead by example, one who will properly train and retain staff. We need a DA who will uphold the law, protect victims, and do what's right. My years of experience will bring needed leadership and professionalism. Please vote Keith Fagundes on June 3rd.
Let the professionals at William L. Mitchell Landscaping make your lawn and gardens beautiful. If you need a new lawn, landscape design, or if you need someone to take over the weekly drudgery of caring for your yard, William L. Mitchell Landscaping can meet your needs. With his ornamental horticulture degree from Fresno State, Bill is qualified to take care of all phases of your landscape construction and design. Call Bill at William L. Mitchell Landscaping at 283-8849. That's Bill Mitchell, 283-8849.
Snowy, 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 snowy shaved ice truck. If you're having a party, call Snowy Shaved Ice Truck.
If it's a hot day in your neighborhood, or if you're having a birthday party or block party, invite Mr. Snowy. Call 803-1779 or go to snowyfresno.com.
Snowy, 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 snowy shaved ice truck. If you're having a party, call Snowy Shaved Ice Truck.
This message was brought to you by Javita Coffee. Change your coffee, change your life, one cup at a time. Check us out at ilovejavita.com.
In 1985, Larry Korth set out to help his friends, family, and community find affordable ways to buy a home or a business property. 30 years later, Mid-Valley Financial is the premier mortgage banker in the Central Valley. The professional staff at Mid-Valley will find the best mortgage products for your family. Mid-Valley Financial takes great pride in being the Central Valley's local lender. Visit us at midvalleyfinancial.com.
Hi, Stan Gross of Horn Photo. Are you looking for a camera that takes better pictures than your phone? Why not give Horn Photo a shot? We can show you fantastic cameras from Nikon, Canon, Sony, and GoPro. Your time is valuable, so before you buy from Costco, Best Buy, or the internet, come see us. We've got great prices and deals, super knowledgeable staff, and we've been selling cameras in Fresno for 76 years. We're in the Villaggio at Blackstone and Nees, or go to hornphoto.com, Fresno's Camera Center.
Watts Family Grill. We grill slow, smile, secret sauce, cold beer, and old friends. Park out back. Look for us on Blackstone, south of McKinley. Watts Family Grill. For all of your real estate needs, call Mike Briggs Properties, 559-486-6758, or check us out at MikeBriggsProperties.com.
CentralValleyTalk.com.
Welcome back to New Thought Talk. I am the Reverend Steve Walling from the Spiritual Awareness Center located in beautiful downtown Madera. And my guest today is the Reverend Tim Peterson from the Center for Spiritual Living in Edmonton Metro, Alberta, Canada. He is hosting the 7th Annual Canadian New Thought Conference, and this has been really good and exciting stuff for me, and I'm glad that we have the opportunity to share it. Tim, as we had gone to the break, you were saying that there was another musical guest that you wanted to make sure that you got mentioned. Who might that be?
Her name's Carrie Day, and she just sparkles when she sings, and she's such a delight to see, and she's such a delight to be around. And I'm just so blessed that she decided that she would join us in this musical adventure. So I hope everybody would have the chance even to see her on her website or whatever it is, and just to get a taste of it, because she's brilliant.
Her name is Carrie Day.
Yeah, Carrie Day.
All right. Well, go look up her website, folks, and get a chance to experience what Tim would like for you to see with this young lady. Well, that's pretty cool. So the conference is going to run from May 30th through June 1st. We're going to have a great host of speakers. We're going to have some great music. And there's some workshops that are going on. Now there's going to be, you're going to have a service on Sunday. That will be at the site where the conference is, or is that going to be held at your center there in Edmonton?
No, it'll be at the site, conference site, and yeah, I don't think we're going to have room to have it at our center that week anyway.
Well, there you go. Now see, that's the stuff that warms my heart. You're not going to have room because you got so many people showing up, and that's a good thing. And we've talked about this, and I want to talk about this in this segment. Is we've talked about New Thought, we've talked about the Canadian country itself, and the issue of bringing New Thought to Canada as a whole, just getting it out there. And this is near and dear to your heart. What do you see for New Thought in Canada over the next couple years? What are your dreams, your goals, desire? Where would you like this to go?
Well, we just began an organization called New Thought Canada, and it is to bring all the different New Thought messages together and have them feel that they can come to one place for support and for sustenance in whatever they needed to do. So often in life we see that it's us against them. It's CSL against RSI. It's unity against something instead of being unified for something. There's so many New Thought teachers out there, brilliant teachers, that really don't have a place to go. They've got some wonderful messages. They've got a brilliant philosophy. They've got wonderful books, but there's just no place to showcase them or no place to talk to somebody of like mind. In a lot of instances, they feel they're so on their own. When I first got into this teaching, I was the same way. I just didn't have anybody there that really knew what I was talking about when I was talking, and I was shocked when I first went into my first Science of Mind church, and they were teaching the same thing I was thinking, even though I really didn't even want to admit it at that time. I was absolutely terrified of, I guess, being alone in what I was thinking. So it was so nice to see that. So we're inviting all the New Thought organizations and individuals who are believing, teaching, and working this New Thought philosophy to a place. And it's going to be probably a virtual place right now. It's going to be on the internet, but it's going to be a supportive organization that holds true to the belief that the New Thought creates, and all thought creates, and my thought creates.
That's because we've talked. That's near and dear to my heart. I believe in the message, and it is the messenger and not. I mean, it is the message and not the messenger. And we need to transcend the idea that I have the sole ownership, if you will, of the message, because, you know, we believe in a God that is infinite, that creates us in an individualized, infinite way, and there's people that will come through the door of your center that will resonate so well with the love and the teaching that you give there, and there's other people that maybe won't resonate so much, but they walk through the door of a Unity Center, and, you know, they're right at home there.
Absolutely.
And that's it. In the embodiment of the oneness, the wholeness of all that we are, that's where we'll really see the growth. We teach unity, you know, and I'll tell you, Tim, one of the things that I've seen oftentimes, and it's kind of sad, but we put a lot of emphasis on interfaith. There's a lot of centers that really work on interfaith, but they don't work so much on interfaith, you know, and so I'm glad to hear that. So you've got, how's that working? Are you getting a good response through the centers in Canada, or are you just moving this forward, and how can I help?
We're just moving this forward, just in the beginning steps, baby steps. But it was an idea that I've had for a long, long time, and it was just time to put it into motion now.
That's great. We'll talk later. Keep me in touch if there's things that I can do to help you out with that. I would love to. You know, and we can cross the borders on that, and I know we'll be on solid ground. So that's good to go. So what is your vision for CSL Edmonton Metro? You know, you're the minister there now. I understand that you're here in the near future. You're planning on devoting a little more time to the center than you have in the past. So, you know, kind of lay out for us where you're going.
You know, we have so many brilliant people here. Our musicians are brilliant. Our ministers are brilliant. They've all got their own special gifts. And what we want to do is take our center more out into the community. We want to get it more involved out there too, and let people who may not have the opportunity to come in know that there's something there for them and something special for them. We've got ministry right now in Nova Scotia, Canada. Our Reverend Mary Mullins has moved out there, and so she's starting her center out there. So we're just trying to expand basically a consciousness of love and acceptance and teaching these principles. So it's we want to grow in consciousness. We want to grow in numbers. We want to grow in spirit. We want to grow in love. We want to grow.
There you go.
We can't stay the same.
There you go. Now, the statistics say that people today, in large numbers, are leaving what I will refer to as old thought philosophy or religion, but they're looking for an increasing connection spiritually, and I think this is one of the strong areas of New Thought. And there are people that are looking for the principles, the teachings that New Thought offers. So I'm going to make the assumption that there's a lot of those people up there in Edmonton, and when they come, if someone were to come to Edmonton Metro from a traditional a religious background, a traditional experience, they walk through the doors for the first time. In your own words, kind of describe for me, what's the experience that they will have?
A feeling of welcome, a feeling of home. Even though you don't understand some of the jargon that goes on in New Thought, you still feel the warmth and you still feel the love. And you know, this whole thing, it's really about community. I had one young person that came in the other day. His TV broke, and he didn't have anything to watch, so he decided to come down, and he was walking by our church and he heard the music. He walked in, and he's been back every week now. But it was, you know, from a broken TV to another sense of community. I see so many people stuck in front of the computers and stuck in front of you know, their devices and fail to connect anymore with real people. And it's the connection, I think, that honors us and creates for us the fabulous life that we've always wanted. We can't do it alone.
No, we can't. And, you know, it is true with the devices, if you will, the technology of today, people too tend to be a little more isolated. And, we were created to be social beings. We were created to interact with other individuals, and we're created to experience and express our lives in a spiritual way. And that's it. And that's the powerful message that you bring in Canada, we bring here in the States through this wonderful philosophy that we call New Thought. We're going to go to our final break, Tim, and we'll wrap it up on the flip side when we come back.
Okay, thanks, Steve.
Hi, I'm Keith Fagundes. I'd like your vote on June 3rd for Kings County District Attorney. Join law enforcement, business leaders, community groups, firefighters, and victims in bringing honesty and integrity to the Kings County DA's office. We deserve a full-time DA who will work hard and lead by example, one who will properly train and retain staff. We need a DA who will uphold the law, protect victims, and do what's right. My years of experience will bring needed leadership and professionalism. Please vote Keith Fagundes on June 3rd.
In 1985, Larry Korth set out to help his friends, family, and community find affordable ways to buy a home or a business property. 30 years later, Mid-Valley Financial is the premier mortgage banker in the Central Valley. The professional staff at Mid-Valley will find the best mortgage products for your family. Mid-Valley Financial takes great pride in being the Central Valley's local lender. Visit us at midvalleyfinancial.com.
Let our family at Avakian Insurance Services help protect your family's future. If you've bought a new home, changed vehicles, or just need a comprehensive review, let our agents help you. As your family grows, we can offer you competitive rates on life and health insurance. Call Avakian Insurance Services for a quote today. Avakian Insurance Services, 268-7386, or visit us online at avakianinsurance.com. Come join the A-Team.
This message was brought to you by Javita Coffee. Change your coffee, change your life, one cup at a time. Check us out at ilovejavita.com.
Snowy, 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 snowy shaved ice truck. If you're having a party, call Snowy Shaved Ice Truck.
If it's a hot day in your neighborhood, or if you're having a birthday party or block party, invite Mr. Snowy. Call 803-1779 or go to snowyfresno.com.
Snowy, 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 snowy shaved ice truck. If you're having a party, call Snowy Shaved Ice Truck.
Lunch phone, what is your location, please?
I'm in Fresno's Tower District.
What is your budget, please?
I only have $7.
Well, that leaves you only one choice. Go directly to Bobby Salazar's in the Tower District. He is having a lunch special for $6.89.
Well, that won't leave me enough money to get a drink.
No worries. Bobby Salazar's in the Tower District will get you lunch and a drink for just $6.89.
Wow, I'm going straight to Bobby Salazar's in the Tower District to get the lunch special and drink for just $6.89.
Thank you for calling Lunch Phone. This has been a recording.
What?
Let the professionals at William L. Mitchell Landscaping make your lawn and gardens beautiful. If you need a new lawn, landscape design, or if you need someone to take over the weekly drudgery of caring for your yard, William L. Mitchell Landscaping can meet your needs. With his ornamental horticulture degree from Fresno State, Bill is qualified to take care of all phases of your landscape construction and design. Call Bill at William L. Mitchell Landscaping at 283-8849. That's Bill Mitchell, 283-8849.
For all of your real estate needs, call Mike Briggs Properties, 559-486-6758, or check us out at MikeBriggsProperties.com.
CentralValleyTalk.com.
Well, it's New Thought Talk. I am the Reverend Steve Walling, and man, time just flies. I'm from the Spiritual Awareness Center located in beautiful downtown Madera, and my guest today has been the Reverend Tim Peterson from the Center for Spiritual Living in Edmonton Metro up in Alberta, Canada. We've been talking about his center. We've been talking about this 7th Annual Canadian New Thought Conference, and we've been talking about New Thought in general, and it's been a really good show for me. I've gotten a lot of good information, and we got some great speakers that are going to be there, and we've got some good music that's going to be there, and you've got a great host in Reverend Tim. So as we wrap up this segment here, Tim, I'm going to give you the floor, whatever you'd like to share at this point in time to wrap things up.
You know, somebody gave me a walking stick, and it was a present, and he carved it up very, very nicely, and I've used it a lot in my life, not necessarily for walking, but for telling people about it, showing people, and it finally clued in at one point that it was a walking stick. If you're not using it, it's just a stick. And it was like same with this teaching. If you're not using it, if you know about religious science or science of mind or creative thought or whatever you want to call it, and you're not using it, then it's really nothing. Any good book, any Bible, any brilliant book is nothing unless you use what knowledge there is in it and create for yourself some life. And it's a good life, and we make it a good life. But we make it a good life. It's nobody else that does that. And it's when I first understood that my life was my life, and how I wanted to live it was up to me. It freed me from everything from the past. It was absolutely brilliant. And there's so many teachers in my life that I have to give gratitude for not letting me be less than I could be. And I have so much gratitude for the people in my life.
That's, I understand what you're saying, Tim. When we have been confronted with, whether lovingly or whether in your face, with an understanding that you are what you create in your own consciousness, that life mirrors back to you what it is that you've got going on within you, that can be pretty scary, and it can also be very liberating. And the ability to teach lovingly that philosophy to people is one of the things that New Thought has brought to the world, that you create your own reality. And there's more truth to that than what most people understand or realize. There are certain principles in the world or in life, and when you put them into practice, and you're right, it is practice. It's not, it's nice to read this stuff. It's nice to get it all up here in the head. It's nice to be able to recite it. But if you're not utilizing it, if you're not experiencing it, if you're not practicing it, it really does, it doesn't do you much good.
No, it doesn't.
So, I didn't ask you, when did you start the center up in Edmonton?
Actually, I was looking at it, we started this one in 2005.
Okay, so you've been there 9 years. And that's,
yes, we have.
Time flies, doesn't it?
It seems like a lot longer some days.
Yeah.
But it seems like it's also happened yesterday some days too, so how time flies.
Yeah, it does.
When you're having fun.
It really does. But yeah, I understand. You've got, now, you're the senior spiritual leader up there. Do you have any co-ministers or associate ministers at your center at this point in time?
I do. I've got Reverend Mary Mullins. She's the one that moved to Nova Scotia.
Uh-huh.
I've got Reverend Kathleen Miller up here, and I've got Reverend Pat Bordeaux up here as co-ministers with me. And to call them staff ministers is, to me, really, they do so much more, and they give me so much strength. We're co-ministers.
Oh, very good, Tim. Well, it's about that time where we're going to wrap up the guest segment of the show. Reverend Tim, I want to thank you for the time that you've gifted us with today and the love and the information you've shared. I look forward to getting together and doing this again, and I just want to say thank you.
Thank you, Steve.
You're welcome. I'll see you when we get to Edmonton.
I look forward to it.
Thank you. Well, folks, it's that time, but like I do each show, we take this time to share with you some of the tools that are available to you online. We have found that we have a rather large, diverse audience throughout not only the nation but the world, and there is something available to you. If you happen to be up in Canada, for example, or if you happen to be somewhere in the Midwest, or you happen to be on the other side of the world, you can go, because you are on the internet, if you're watching this show, and I know that, you can go to a link, a webpage called findacenter.com. All one word, no spaces. Findacenter.com. You go there. There is a map of the world. You put your little cursor on whatever part of the world you're from, and you click it, and you just follow the links down, and you will find the nearest New Thought Center to where you live. And this is a service that is provided by an organization called Serving New Thought. They are non-denominational. They put up every New Thought Center that they can find in the world. And if you happen to be at a New Thought Center, go check. Go check and see if your center's there. If it's not, get a hold of Serving New Thought and make sure that you get listed. And there are many different tools that they have available to centers that if you're not utilizing, that will help you, that will help increase your web footprint for your center. And in today's world, being a web presence is very important. So that is something that you can look at, you can avail yourself. If you have a center, if you're looking for a center, you can find one. And also, for you people that have discovered New Thought maybe through the internet and you want to know a little bit more about it, you don't know where to go necessarily, you can go to the newthoughtlibrary.com. If you go there, you will find a whole grouping of authors from the early New Thought pioneers and a lot of the books that they have written that are the foundational text, if you will, for the understanding of what New Thought is. It's there, it's online, it's free, it's available to you. Don't pass it up. I'm telling you, there is a wealth of information there. If you were to do nothing, then go through and read that. By the time that you got through it, your consciousness would be so expanded that it would be amazing. And so would your life, because New Thought is a powerful, powerful tool. And also, for those of you that are local here to the Central Valley, you can go to MadeiraSAC.com. That is my center's webpage here. You can check out what's going on in Madeira, in the Central Valley, and I appreciate each and every one of you. I thank you for watching the show today. It's been wonderful as usual. It goes by way too fast. And so as I close up for the day, I want to just take this moment, as I always do, and tell you this one very special understanding and prayer. May the light of God surround you. May the love of God enfold you. May the power of God protect you, because truly, wherever you are, God is, and all is well. Blessings, my friend, and I'll see you when we come back next time.
Hi, I'm Keith Fagundes. I'd like your vote on June 3rd for Kings County District Attorney. Join law enforcement, business leaders, community groups, firefighters, and victims in bringing honesty and integrity to the Kings County DA's office. We deserve a full-time DA who will work hard and lead by example, one who will properly train and retain staff. We need a DA who will uphold the law, protect victims, and do what's right. My years of experience will bring needed leadership and professionalism. Please vote Keith Fagundes on June 3rd.
Let the professionals at William L. Mitchell Landscaping make your lawn and gardens beautiful. If you need a new lawn, landscape design, or if you need someone to take over the weekly drudgery of caring for your yard, William L. Mitchell Landscaping can meet your needs. With his ornamental horticulture degree from Fresno State, Bill is qualified to take care of all phases of your landscape construction and design. Call Bill at William L. Mitchell Landscaping at 283-8849. That's Bill Mitchell, 283-8849.
Snowy, 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 snowy shaved ice truck. If you're having a party, call Snowy Shaved Ice Truck.
If it's a hot day in your neighborhood, or if you're having a birthday party or block party, invite Mr. Snowy. Call 803-1779 or go to snowyfresno.com.
Snowy, 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 snowy shaved ice truck. If you're having a party, call Snowy Shaved Ice Truck.
This message was brought to you by Javita Coffee. Change your coffee, change your life, one cup at a time. Check us out at ilovejavita.com.
In 1985, Larry Korth set out to help his friends, family, and community find affordable ways to buy a home or a business property. 30 years later, Mid-Valley Financial is the premier mortgage banker in the Central Valley. The professional staff at Mid-Valley will find the best mortgage products for your family. Mid-Valley Financial takes great pride in being the Central Valley's local lender. Visit us at midvalleyfinancial.com.
Hi, Stan Gross of Horn Photo. Are you looking for a camera that takes better pictures than your phone? Why not give Horn Photo a shot? We can show you fantastic cameras from Nikon, Canon, Sony, and GoPro. Your time is valuable, so before you buy from Costco, Best Buy, or the internet, come see us. We've got great prices and deals, super knowledgeable staff, and we've been selling cameras in Fresno for 76 years. We're in the Villaggio at Blackstone and Nees, or go to hornphoto.com, Fresno's Camera Center.
Watts Family Grill. We grill slow, smile, secret sauce, cold beer, and old friends. Park out back. Look for us on Blackstone, south of McKinley. Watts Family Grill. For all of your real estate needs, call Mike Briggs Properties, 559-486-6758, or check us out at MikeBriggsProperties.com.
CentralValleyTalk.com